So today, y'all, we're gonna be reacting to LaDonkey Lames is wrong about ring culture by the man Uncut Hoops. Now, this guy LaFraud, this guy LaCheeks McGee, always trying to downplay something, bruh. Now he's making the false narratives that rings don't matter. How do rings not matter, bro? I thought rings were part of winning basketball, so we don't want to win no more. So everybody just has Mickey Mouse wins. That's what you're basically claiming. Yeah, all right, LeBron. I see how you go. But hey, let's get right into his reaction though.
From Dustin Nielsen, why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
A ring is a team accomplishment.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For so many reasons.
I was super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. A ring is a team accomplishment. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all. And I was like,
huh?
It's
the A-all, B-all. What type of shit am I hearing, bro? Just off that alone, I know this guy is saying some bullshit. You said the A-all, B-all? You mean the end-all, B-all? LaForty, bro, you getting too old to be saying some bullshit like this, bro. I ain't gonna lie, your ass need to retire from the league, LaCheeks McGee, LaCheeks Reddick. You need to get your ass on over here. And he's talking about rings as a team accomplishment. Now, I get what he's saying, but stop trying. You saying it like you trying to downplay it. Obviously, every team needs to be great in order for you to get a ring. That makes sense. But like, bro, come on, bro. Star players are what cements those teams, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? A player being able to take over in the playoffs and get their team to even the finals and then able to get them that ring, bro, is amazing. It's amazing, gang. It's amazing, bro. So don't downplay rings like they're not everything, bro. And top of that, bro, if you want to be on the top of the top GOAT list or even be considered top 10 all time, every top 10 player has a ring. Every single one of them. You can't name one top 10 player that you have in your top 10 list that don't have a ring. It just don't make sense whatsoever, bro.
Special.
When it comes to modern day NBA players, there's no single person more obsessed, self-aware, and love of their own legacy more so than LeBron James.
Right.
As looking at all of his interviews, it's always me, my, a lot of eyes, talking about his legacy, his greatness, and his standing in NBA history. And look at the Mind the Game podcast, kind of the exact same thing. Alongside Steve Nash, what this podcast is non-stop propaganda, rewriting LeBron's legacy and rewriting the standards of NBA history.
Why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
I don't know, man. It's just like you sit here and you tell me, you know, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, you know, are fucking wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won one ring or won two rings.
Nah, bro. Nobody never really said that, like, Allen Iverson or like Charles Barkley per se were never good players. Nobody ever says that. But when it comes to like winning culture and per se ring culture, in order for you to validate yourself as being a top player in the league or like even being one of the greatest to play the sport, you have to win something. Like, look at Wilt Chamberlain, for example, right? Bro averaged like 50 points per game, yada yada, whatever. Look, and when he averaged 50 points per game, did he win? He didn't win anything, right? Until he switched his game plan and started to play more for the team. That's when he started to see more team success and he actually started to see more wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, all the individual stats, all the stat padding, all that shit, yeah, it's great. It looks good on paper. But if you're not winning, if you're dropping, say, 100 points per game and you're always losing all the fucking time, that shit doesn't fucking matter. But does that 100 point even serve any worth as you fucking winning? Like, would you rather win with 100 points or lose with 100 points? Which one would y'all rather have, y'all?
So, stopping that right there, LeBron's overall premise that guys like Iverson, Steve Nash, and Barkley aren't appreciated and recognized as great players, that from the jump is inaccurate. Iverson, despite having 0 championships, is beloved by all NBA fans. Someone like Steve Nash, also very popular, and then Charles Barkley, an iconic legend.
Agreed.
To say fans don't know those guys were great players, top 75 guys, that is completely false.
He's a liar.
Now, with that being said, looking at players' legacy, a Hall of Fame level player, all those guys are great players, a baseline level of greatness. But to be one of the greatest ones of all time, what that requires is championships, and most likely multiple championships at that.
Exactly.
And looking at someone like Charles Barkley, despite being ringless, he understands that because it's common sense.
I'm in the Hall of Fame, but I'm in a different wing than the guys who won the championship. I mean,
Still in the Hall of Fame, though.
I know, yeah, but I'm saying though, Jack, hey, I understand. I understand the rules. Like, Charles are great, Karl Malone's great, Patrick Ewing's great. They're not at the table with Magic, Bird, LeBron, Kobe. It's levels to this shit.
Yeah, there is most definitely levels to it shit. And I'm not gonna lie, saying it's less relevant in other sports, that's literally completely false. In every other sports, the greatest of all time in every other sport, do they not have some type of, you know what I'm saying, some type of trophy or some shit that validates them or credits them to being the greatest of all time, bro? Like, they have something, like whether it's a chip, whether it's a Super Bowl ring, something. They have that shit to validate, oh, that I won this. Me and my team we were the greatest team that year that won that chip. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to take that into consideration. I ain't saying chips aren't the only thing that matters. They're not the only thing, but that the top of the top players have chips, they have rings that will put you in the conversation of being one of the greatest to play the sport. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's that simple, bro.
And I ain't mad at that. I understand that.
For someone like Barkley right there to be completely honest and open, the championships,
Shitty
they do
crumb
in
bum
fact matter.
lames.
That takes some big time guts as a ringless superstar who gets ragged for that constantly. And looking at guys like Stockton, Malone, Ewing, those guys also are great players despite being ringless. But like
Right.
Charles said, when you're ranking tiers of greatness, those guys aren't at the table with guys like Magic, Bird, Jordan, the upper echelon, the greats of the greats.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Exactly.
You don't play to just play it.
One of the biggest crimes in
that's what I
sports
was just
nowadays
saying.
is the term ring culture having a negative connotation. As when it comes to quote-unquote ring culture, what that really means is winning culture. For an NBA superstar specifically, winning a championship, reaching the pinnacle of the mountaintop, that since the 50s is what you played for. You didn't play for stats and numbers, the individual glory.
Right.
What you played for was a pursuit of winning. Now ask yourself, when did that begin changing? I'd say the late 2000s, early 2010s, when a certain player was coming up short on the big stage. And since then, winning's been downplayed, discredited, and been written off as quote-unquote ring culture.
You know, it's all about winning championships and winning. You know, the stats that matter to me is the games that we win and the rings that you collect.
Right. That's literally what all matters, bro. Said by the GOAT himself, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, bro. And you gotta look, right? There's no way you can be in your right mind, right, and play the game of basketball. This dude LeBron always forms teams. Y'all call him the GM, right? He always forms teams and tries to recruit players to play on his team. And he always needs help. He needs more this. He needs more that to win more chips. Does he not? There's no way LaCheeks McGee sits there and forms a team to try to win a chip. To win a chip. He don't do that, right? He clearly doesn't form teams and tries to make super teams and tries to go to the Miami Heat. And he said he gonna win not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a million gazillion rings. A million gazillion imaginary rings. That's what the bro said. He clearly didn't do that to win chips, right? All right, bro. Delusional.
It changed from player to player. Magic Johnson, obviously, because of his notoriety, and Larry Bird, his notoriety, that we had to get past them, or I had to get past them individually before I gain any credibility or can ever get into their ballpark. I had to win championships. I had to win MVPs. I had to make impacts on my team.
Right.
So that became a challenge for me.
For someone like Michael Jordan, who had all the MVPs, stats, individual accolades, what he cared about most was winning championships. And looking at his overall career arc, it was the embodiment of pursuing titles. As he first came to the NBA, an absolute dynamo on fire, scoring 40, 50 points, breaking all types of records. but by the early 90s, reeled it back in to a championship player and a winning player. And even looking at Kobe, the exact same thing. 2006's stats, off the charts, surreal, the best stats in the NBA.
Right.
But to Kobe, those numbers, they are kind of hollow. At that point, what was his big time goal? Not scoring accolades, total points, but winning championships without Shaquille O'Neal.
Right.
When it was all said and done, he sacrificed, took a step back, and ultimately did that in 2009 and 2010.
Because, yeah, people were saying Kobe couldn't win nothing without Shaq. That's what they was all claiming. Oh, he couldn't win this. You needed Shaq. Kobe was the sidekick. Shaq was the main guy. That's what people was claiming, bruh.
When Shaq leaves, you can't win. I said, oh shit, yes I can. You proved that.
Yup.
That became my motivation. That became my passion, and I was obsessed with it. And here we go.
We know what it means as a team, but what about individually for you?
Just got one more than Shaq.
When you contrast guys like Kobe and Jordan, LeBron James, the stark difference becomes very, very apparent. As LeBron nowadays is the only big-time major athlete.
My bad. I had somebody come in the room from the back.
Who downplays winning with a pejorative of ring culture. And here's the bizarre thing. LeBron in the past has not done this. What is LeBron's crowning achievement that to him made him the GOAT? Was it his points, longevity, total stat numbers, even his game winners?
He said
No.
2016.
His crowning achievement was that one singular championship in 2016.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For
That's
so
what
many
I felt.
reasons.
Right, and that's a ring. 2016. Did you not come back 3-1 and try to get a ring? A ring, my boy. That's what solidified you, right? As the great. So you saying rings don't matter, or it shouldn't be looked at as it should, like it should in other sports, right? You're dang near downplaying yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're calling your ring a ring pop ring, basically. Your ring is an asterisk ring. Your ring don't deserve no value. It didn't have no impact. It had nothing. So yeah, we y'all basically all on the same boat. If you losing the 40s logic, every great top 10 player is on the same boat. All the rings don't matter. Don't take them out of consideration. Shitty rings, they don't matter. But yeah, agree with this guy's logic for sure. 100% LaCheeks McGee.
I was super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. A ring is a team accomplishment. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all. And I was like, you did something special.
It's pretty obvious LeBron James, he wants it both ways.
Right.
When he wins, it's LeBron accomplishment to boost himself up, a lot of me's, I's, my legacy, my championship. It's all about LeBron James. Now when LeBron loses, it's the exact opposite. All of a sudden winning championships, it's a team accomplishment and a team failure.
Right. It's just excuses upon excuses on top of excuses. The excuse bum can't get rid of it. Always got to make excuses. I ain't have this. I ain't have that. Or rings don't matter this. Or rings don't matter that. Like, bro, this guy, bro, it's like the more and more this guy keeps talking, bro, the more and more he just makes himself look worse. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If this guy keep talking like this, bro, word two, bro, you might have to just bump them out. I might have to bump him out of the top 10 list. Like, the more he keep talking and yapping and saying all this don't matter. Always trying to change narratives. Always trying to, like, just brainwash people. This guy.
And ring culture is the worst thing in sports.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
And let's clarify something very, very quickly. When it comes to winning championships, the credit for those titles isn't given out equally. Look at someone like Steve Kerr, a multi-time champion, a journeyman, and a very good role player who hit timely shots.
I agree.
Steve Kerr having a ton of championship rings, I'm not gonna say he's better than Charles Barkley, who was an NBA superstar, a #1 option.
Right.
That makes zero sense. For people with LeBron James mindsets, say championships is purely a team accomplishment, they're being highly disingenuous. And they say guys like Robert Horry, you know, he has 7 rings, Jordan has 6, is Horry better? Those arguments are...
Nah, that's like the dumbest arguments ever. It's like, you gotta realize, it's not even just about the ring, but it's like how you get the ring and what player made the most impact to put your team in position to even get the ring. That's what makes the ring have so much more value than it actually is. A ring, anybody could get a ring. You know what I'm saying? You could be on the bench, you could be a water boy, and you can get a ring by getting carried by somebody else. But literally, bro, it's how you get the ring. Did you do what you have to do to get your team into the position? Did you hit the game tying, game winning shots? Like, did you make the right read? Did you make the right pass? Did you play defense this possession, this, that? It's like everything that leads up in order for you to get a ring. Did you make an impact? That's literally how rings, that's literally what it is. That's the basis of it, literally.
Straw man arguments. When we're comparing championship players versus non-championship players, what we're comparing is a top tier 1% of players.
Right.
Thank you!
Right.
And looking at LeBron's own career in South Beach, Cleveland, and Los Angeles, what's he been pursuing the entire time?
Rings.
Not just more help, but also championships. If championships don't really matter, ring culture sucks, why play into it? Why have Kyrie and Love, Wade and Bosh, and then Anthony Davis? Why have that? Just play basketball, have fun, a good old time with the fellas.
Yeah, why would you form that Cleveland team if you didn't want chips? Like, you form teams to just not get chips? Is that what this guy is basically saying? Or like, I'm confused on what this delusional LaDonkey guy is saying. I just can't believe what I'm hearing out of my fucking mouth. I mean, out of his mouth.
Win championships. Not one, championships.
Not two.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6.
Did Pat Riley drop the rings on the
That
table
pisses
during
me
his
off.
meeting with you also? Or
Of course he did.
He did? Oh, that's cool as hell.
For someone like Pat Riley getting Chris Bosh and LeBron James, his one big time selling point was championships and those 9 rings he already had. For LeBron back then, he understood that. And even in 2016, understood it fairly well. After that championship, what did he say over and over again? Who he is chasing is the ghost that played in Chicago.
Oh, I did forget he did say that. A long time ago, he was saying, "Oh, I'm chasing the ghost of Chicago." Yeah, he chasing Michael Jordan, bro, and he's still chasing this guy to this day, bro. Saying, bro, he trying to say all this so that way people could claim, he's the GOAT, he the best player in the world. I'm with what's people already claim already. Now I feel like, and honestly, in my opinion, bro. You're kind of, I don't think he's the GOAT at all. LaCheeks McGee will never be in the GOAT list in my eyes, bro. As long as he's in the NBA, I don't care. All these stats, all this most points all time, all this, I don't care, bro. If you're not winning shit with them points, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You're 4-10, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Excuse me for 3 of them, just about 3 of them, but the rest. Bro, get out of here with this bullshit. I ain't gonna front, bro.
What do you mean by that?
It's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
Right.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time, or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things.
Well, individually they can be, but like, if you're talking about what they did for their respective teams, they can't be in that same conversation. It's just and nobody in their right mind would put fucking Peyton Manning over Tom Brady. Who the hell would do that? They're not trying to discredit and try to say, oh, Peyton Manning is not great. We all know Peyton Manning is great, but is he better than Brady? Fuck no. Like, it's just as simple as that. I don't know, bruh. This guy's fucking making my head hurt. Like, just hearing this guy speak, you making my head explode, bruh. I'm about to throw a brick at this guy. By the way, bruh, Peyton Manning has 2 chips. He don't even got 1 chip, bruh. I knew this guy was a faker. I knew LaShrek was a faker, bruh. Man, I can't believe this guy.
Barry Bonds never won a World Series. And you can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat.
So stopping that right there, LeBron
guy.
James, going cross-sports comparison, looking at the NFL as well as MLB. And this right here, the dumbest thing you could possibly do. As looking at both the sports compared to basketball, it couldn't be more different. For an NBA roster, there's 15 guys on a team, 5 guys on the court playing offense and defense.
Right.
In the NFL, it's upwards of 50, 11 on 11, offense, defense, and special teams. Unless you're Travis Hunter, you're not playing both ways. So the cross-sport comparison with basketball, football, and baseball really makes no sense.
He's an idiot. Don't listen to this. He's an idiot.
little imbecile.
At the end of the day, the
We got
entire
it.
ring culture discussion comes back to one thing and one thing only. LeBron James wanted to be the GOAT over Michael Jordan. That's what it's about, plain and simple. Everyone knows it. Why he's downplaying championships is because Jordan has more. It's that simple. And again, rings aren't the end-all be-all, but they're a big-time component to being a great player and the greatest player who ever lived.
Agreed. I feel like rings, I'm not saying rings shouldn't be looked above all, but if you factor in accolades, rings, stats, like I feel like stats is up there, but like rings is a little bit like tip of the toe, and then accolades comes with the ring, so it's like ring, stats, and then everything else like below that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like it should be. Like it should, that metric should really be like. But hey, hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video, bro. Tell me what y'all think about the Disease McGee. Y'all feel like this guy is spitting facts, or you disagree with this guy whole heavily like I do?